Hey everyone, welcome back to Cosmic Life. Today we are talking about the second Capricorn full moon happening on July 21st, and this is happening at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So a month ago, we were talking about the first Capricorn full moon, which happened at 1 degree of Capricorn. So there may have been a beginning of a focus on something that is now coming to culmination during this full moon. I'm going to try to break this full moon down in the most digestible way possible for, anyone listening, because I know some of you are new to astrology and this one is a lot to unpack for a full moon. And so I think the first thing that I'm going to do is just talk about the general energy and then talk about the aspects that the moon is making. So when we're talking about a full moon, there's always a heightened intuition, heightened emotions. Full moons bring something to culmination. Very typically, you'll see a resonance with the new moon that happened in that sign 6 months prior and the full moon culmination that is transpiring. So think back to when we had the Capricorn new moon in January. You may see some significance of what started during that time and what's coming to a peak now. However, there may have been more of a focus on something you were working on when we had the first Capricorn full moon last month. Now, with this full moon, we have a moon making a conjunction with Pluto. We've seen a lot of conjunctions with Pluto over the past 6 months. And this one is really going to be a significant conjunction because it is a full moon. We have the moon at an anaretic degree in Capricorn and Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. It is an out of sign conjunction, as astrologers call it, but it is still a conjunction, and therefore the influence is still there. And this alone is signaling a transformation, a death and rebirth, when we're talking about the 29th degree and a 0 degree of any sign. On top of that, we have Pluto that is going to be conjuncting the full moon. So even more significant message of a death and rebirth happening. Now, with Pluto is not just about death and rebirth, it's about power and sex and healing, trauma, digging up things from deep within that need to be dealt with and resolved. Pluto is also about where our fears are. We could be scared of change right now, especially. Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008, and so, it's finishing up throughout the rest of the year. It's tour of duty in Capricorn. And in Capricorn, we're talking about the structures in our life, what we're committed to, discipline, authority figures, karma. And because Saturn is also the ruler of time, we're talking about things that have been happening over a long period of time. And the death and rebirth has been a timely process. It hasn't come quickly for anybody. So with the full moon making a conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn, we're looking at transforming our structures, transforming what we're committed to, whether it's our commitments at work or commitments with our personal relationships or romantic relationships. There could be things breaking down in those areas of your life, and they're breaking down because they no longer serve you, and you have to be able to forge ahead. When we're talking about Pluto in Aquarius, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So Uranus likes to be different and unique and marches to the beat of their own drum, as I always say about Aquarius. And so you may have people who are kind of stuck in the old ways of doing things, or you may have people that are opposed to the changes that you're trying to make in your life. And you have to be able to tap into that Aquarian energy and say, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to forge ahead and do it anyway, because I know that this is what keeps me in line with who I am at my core. And this is how I have to be true to myself. And even if other people don't like it, you still have to honor yourself first. Change is never easy, and change doesn't always happen overnight. And a lot of people fear change. This is not a time to fear change. This is a time to face those fears, face whatever intense emotions come up, because we're talking about a full moon conjuncting intense Pluto, and forge ahead. There is a huge potential for emotional transformation when we're talking about the full moon conjuncting Pluto. And the emotional transformation that will come will lead you to a more freer version of yourself that's more true to your core and will keep you in line with yourself spiritually. We have to, face whatever comes up during this time, and not out of fear be tempted to go back to the old ways or to stick with something that isn't working. This is not a time for that. It is a time to say, no more. I've had enough, and I'm going a new direction. And that's very empowering. Pluto is about power. So this is a time to take your power back. This is also a time to rebuild something new for yourself. When we're talking about, Capricorn structures, Aquarius, something new and unique and different. Don't be afraid to build something new, whether it's, a new career, a new relationship, a new way of going about your friendships, or a new group of friends that you may be associating with. Whatever it is that you see falling away during this time, let it fall. Let it do what needs to be done in order for you to go on the path that you're meant to be on. This could be a very freeing feeling if you honor that. Now, let's talk about the aspects that this moon is making, because there's quite a bunch. And I think they all are basically saying the same, singing the same song to us, basically. With the moon at 29 degrees of Capricorn, we're going to see it make a sextile to Neptune in Pisces. And so when we're talking about the last sign of the zodiac, okay, and Neptune, we're talking about letting go. And Neptune is at 29 degrees, so it's at an anaretic degree. It's also finalizing its tour of duty in Pisces. And this is, clearing away the fog, clearing away, old visions and dreams that we had that we realized, they didn't serve us. They didn't give us the results that we wanted for ourselves. They may not have given the reward for the hard work that we may have put in when we're talking about Capricorn and Pisces. You may have been putting a lot of time and effort into something that is now time to release. There could also be, the ending of some kind of spiritual journey that you've been on, especially when we're talking about, Saturn ruled Capricorn and Pisces. Saturn is about karma, and Pisces is very, outer worldly and spiritual, right? And so there could have been, a spiritual evolution, so to speak, that you've been on for a while, that you're now reaching this culmination point of realizing you're being led on a different road, and you're being enlightened to level up and to ask for more. And I think that, this moon is very powerful for inner change. I think a lot of the things that I'm speaking about and will continue to talk about this full moon, it's all about change. Much needed, overdue, timely change. We will also see Mercury at 26 degrees of Leo making a square aspect to Uranus at 26 degrees of Taurus. Now, Mercury and Uranus are both about your mind. Mercury is the lower octave and Uranus is a higher octave. And the two of them making an aspect to each other is helping us tap into our mind, our higher wisdom and knowledge, and make a change. This is, a square aspect causes tension, right? But that tension serves a purpose. It's bringing something to your awareness that needs to be addressed and is uncomfortable, but it's forcing you to find a resolution, right? And that resolution comes with a decision to make a change, a decision to, find another way that is more purposeful. We also will see Mars at 0 degrees of Gemini making a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. And, with Mars, we're talking about taking action. In Gemini, the sign of the twins, a Mercury ruled sign. So this is also about the mind, what we're thinking, what we're communicating, and where we're going. Making a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. And Pluto is, trying to make changes that honor our individuality, okay? So I see this trine aspect between Mars and Pluto as another push to take action towards what you're trying to change. This is an opportunistic connection when we're talking about a trine. So this is giving people the ability to manifest what you want and change what you need to change in your life. And Mars is going to be empowered. So, again, we're having, Pluto influence of power, and Mars, who likes to take control and take action, making a connection with each other. This is empowering you to do what you need to do to make beneficial changes in your life. We also have Jupiter at 12 degrees of Gemini making a sextile to Venus at 12 degrees of Leo during the full moon. This is also another positive influence. Jupiter wants to expand things, wants to bring opportunity, brings good fortune, good luck. Jupiter is about, our wisdom and the knowledge and adventurous spirit that we have, making a positive connection to Venus and Leo. Essentially, Venus and Leo loves love, right? Leo is all about our passions and is very much, a tribe kind of energy. You think about the lions, have their own tribe. There's always, one leader of the pack that oversees everything. And Venus, being in Leo, is, a very passionate energy. And so I think this connection is also going to help us, honor what we're passionate about, see the ability to have harmony between what we're passionate about, what we're trying to expand, what is going to bring us beneficial opportunity. This is a really supportive energy to bring in with the full moon. We will also see Venus in Leo making a trine to the North Node in Aries. It is somewhat of a loose trine, but I still consider it a trine. And this is also helping us move forward with the North Node in Aries. You know, North Node in Aries is all about moving forward with your individual dreams and, you know, your journey, okay? We have Uranus at 26 degrees of Taurus making a trine to Juno in Virgo. Now, I've talked about Juno in other videos. She is the asteroid of commitment, and in Virgo, you know, she wants stability. She wants to know all the details about what she's getting involved in and what she's committing to. And this trine to Uranus is saying, okay, we're going to make these changes, but I want to know what I'm signing up for. And Juno's going to know what she's signing up for when she's making a positive connection to Uranus and Taurus. And they're both earth signs, so, you know, whatever comes up, it is going to be grounded and on fertile soil. The potential for changes in relationships, whether it be leaving an old relationship that has served its purpose and, you know, taught you what you needed to learn, and now going off on a different journey, now that you've, you know, blossomed into whatever you needed to blossom into through that interaction in that relationship, you're now able to make changes necessary to go off and start a new chapter, start a new relationship, start a new career, whatever kind of relationship this is. I do feel like there's, you know, structures and relationships in focus right now. The day of the full moon, Mars enters Gemini, and, you know, I think the significance of that is, while we're looking at what we're closing out, you know, Mars being in Taurus for the time that it's been in Taurus was very slow moving. But with the full moon happening and then Mars moving to Gemini, Mars is now able to make moves and move quicker. So we may see that as we're facing our fears, facing our emotions, facing our deep truths, facing the changes that need to be made in our lives, we can now take quicker action to make things happen. And I think that is going to help, you know, really stay focused on the new opportunity, the new beginning that's being presented, rather than looking back at the old. So, the other thing that I want to add to this, with Pluto influence, you know, this can also have us looking at some shadow work that needs to be done or has been getting worked on, that we can now, you know, finalize and release in order to lighten up our load for the new journey that's coming. This could, you know, if you use this energy wisely, you can use it to strengthen your confidence and overcome whatever challenges that may, you know, that may be presented with, you know, the closing out of a chapter or the dissolving of whatever is getting dissolved, the death that's happening in some way in your life. This can help us know that better times are ahead. You know, like I mentioned before at the beginning, I see this as a portal of the old chapter that has now completed or is finishing up, and seeing that new chapter right in front of you and saying, oh shit, this is what I have to look forward to. Now, these changes, there may be a lot of cleanup work that comes along with it, because Pluto is in retrograde and will be going back to 27 degrees of Capricorn during the retrograde cycle. So, there may be, you may start that new beginning, that new chapter. But as you're starting that, there may be some cleanup work, or, some finalizing of internal work or internal, healing that you're doing through that process of starting that new beginning. Now, if I haven't said enough and lost you yet, great. I hope that this full moon brings you the death and rebirth that you need. Don't focus on what's dying away. Focus on the rebirth energy that Pluto is promising. This is a really potent full moon. So if you do full moon rituals, I would say, really focus on your intentions and what you're trying to manifest, what you want your new chapter to be, because this could be a really significant time until we get to the eclipse season to really manifest that new beginning that you're striving towards. So I hope this helps you understand this very special blue moon, second Capricorn full moon happening on the 21st of July. This is going to be a big one, but I think we have a lot of good energy backing us up and helping us push forward anyway, helping us understand that, with every ending, there's a new beginning in sight. So I will be back with more videos, and if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please do help my channel grow, and share your comments. Let me know how you're feeling with this energy. I respond to all of them, and thanks for watching. Take care.